there, review family? Keep it, I keep it tight. My name is J Morris, a review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be covering the new Little Simz album entitled Gray Area. This album is amazing! This album, hell yes. Little Simz, English rapper, third studio-length album, 35 minutes of material, 10 tracks, a couple features here and there as well. So I've had some people telling me about this album, I've heard music outlets critically acclaiming this album, and there being rave reviews, so I was like, alright, I'll check it out. Never really heard of this person, but I'll go ahead and give it a shot. And BAM! Favorite rap album of the year so far. This album is consistently harrowing and catchy and heartfelt, heartbreaking, vulnerable, sentimental, it's experimental, it's abstract, it's out there, it's explorative, but it is still uncompromisingly visceral and cutthroat. There's old school hip-hop elements, there's English hip-hop elements, there's electronic elements, there are some freaky beats all over this thing, there is jazz instrumentation, there are horns, there are violins, there are some R&B elements, there are some really nice choruses, there are some amazing flows that could rival some of the best MCs in the game. The lyricism through and through is some of the most introspective and well put together lyrics that I have heard in a rap album in a while, and it's not just her crooning over it like a lot of female rappers do nowadays, unfortunately, or just rappers in general in the trap field. This isn't a trap album, by the way. She is so honest, and she phrases things in such a way that it is fast-paced. It is like thunder strikes, just pounding down at your head. The flows are fire. They are fire. This album is full of blitzkrieg songs of emotional vulnerability, turmoil, and honesty, roaring over these gorgeous synths, these beautiful pianos, the occasional horn, great, well put together percussion, some well put together meticulous guitar passages, hi-hats, some jazz, some funk, everything is going into this album. Just by a compositional standpoint, the first track, OFFENCE, starts it off amazingly with piano and hi-hats, and the percussion on this track, thumping, almost seems a little bit garage rocky, kind of old school hip-hop. I love how all these elements blend together to create something that doesn't feel disjointed given how wide this composition is behind her. No, they're all working together to create a really nice atmosphere to this track, even though if it doesn't even reach the 3-minute mark. Boss! What do I even say about this track? It is abstract, it is heavy, I love the distortion that layers on her vocals, and especially this thumping, once again, almost kind of garage rocky type beat with guitars. It sounds super almost indie inspired, and just that refrain is stuck in my head. Stay in line! Whew. The way she spirals into that note from her flow is really impressive in my opinion. Selfish has a beautiful chorus. CLEO Soul is on this track, and whew, I love Little Simz' flow and lyrics. This is one of the moments where she seems a little bit more deadpan. Think of 21 Savage type of deadpan, where you have this emotional delivery without going over the top, seeming a bit lonesome, seeming a bit devoid of emotion, but still rip-roaring through these lyrics that are beautiful. Wounds featuring CHRONIXX, probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. Once again, that thudding percussion really just earwormy, and her flow from the start, Little Simz' flow straight off the bat, she is going so fast. She could literally rival Eminem with some of these flows, or Busta Rhymes, or Tech-9, or whichever rapper you want to say raps really fast. She can do it, but she does it in such a way that it's still maintaining this lyrical potency, and she is really listenable. Like, she is audible. You can understand what she's saying. And that's one thing about this album, is I do love how her accent comes through. This British accent reminds me kind of like of the English grime scene or drill scene, where you get these British rappers that maintain their accent. A lot of times when people are rapping or singing, they'll let their accent fall off, but Little Simz embraces it, and it really does add this nice depth and dimension to her voice, in my personal opinion. I can see why other people might disagree with that, but it's an adhesive to me. VENOM is better than Eminem's Venom, I just want to point that out, and this swelling violin intro is super foreboding and creepy, and then she just comes through ripping through this instrumental. She is going so fast, one of the quickest raps on the entire album, but once again, very listenable, very audible. The chorus, albeit a little bit simplistic, works so well with this instrumentation, I can't explain it. VENOM is a trip and a half. It's psychedelic and catchy, but it's still really free freakishly weird. The kind of dinging and ringing instrumentation of 101 FM is really nice in my opinion, and the kind of ending part with the radio bit is kind of funny as well. And the only thing about this track, and it's probably one of the only things on the entire album that I can complain about, is I'm not that big of a fan of the ad-libs on this track. That's just me. I don't know, they seemed a little forced there. They seemed a little, like, unnecessary. Pressure featuring Little Dragon. Little Dragon's inclusion is okay, but I almost wish that it was just Little Simz. He does work well on this kind of jazzy rap instrumental, this funky instrumental. Little Simz' accent comes out in spades and gives her this visceral tendency to her voice. Let me apply the pressure. That is such a strong way to start out this track when you have this theme that carries over. And there are a lot of lyrics on this album that really deal with that struggle of keeping going even though you feel like you don't want to. Feeling like you want to break, wanting to just implode, wanting to just sleep and go away from everything, but still the world pressing you to keep doing what you're doing because you have to, because the world's not going to stop for you. I get so many whiffs on this album that she acknowledges her flaws and acknowledges the fact that she is depressed and that she is in this like emotional, mental turmoil over both her past and her present and the things that she struggles with, but she keeps going nonetheless because she has to. Case in point, the track Therapy, which has a really nice reverbed and echoed out chorus that I do enjoy a lot. I believe that's Little Simz singing. If that is a sample, pardon me for saying that, but I don't see a feature on this track, so I don't think it's anyone else. Do love the refrain of like, I don't need therapy, I don't think they're going to be able to tell me anything that I don't know already, that type of thing. I do love the way this track handles that feeling of like being treated crazy or being treated like a freak and trying to have therapy shoved in your face. It really does like speak to so many people that deal with this issue, when in reality sometimes it can just be fixed by treating someone normally. On SHERBET's Sunset, basically that reverb echoed chorus kind of comes back on this track, not the exact same one obviously, but the same effects, and I do love her voice on this track. It's a little bit longer of a track, kind of a sweet jazzy rap instrumental going with it, the nice percussion. Love the percussion on this album if I have not gotten that through already. KIWANUKA features on the last track, Flowers. This is such a good way to end the album off, oh my god. It is this beautiful piece of jazz rap that starts off with this humming vocal. This is an atmospheric track, probably the most atmospheric track on the entire album, and I love how it ends out the album. I love this kind of complete and total swelling of instrumentation, atmosphere, and the culmination of all these ideas that ends out in this major swan song for the album. I was just hoping she would come through with something amazing in the last track and not, like, miss the landing. She stuck the landing 100%, let me just tell you that. I've tried to go through this review without spoiling too much because I highly suggest you check this album out because I love the hell out of it. Maybe you will too. I know a lot of other people are loving this album, and there are some good reasons for it. I'm going to be giving this album a 9 out of 10, and that is a wrap. Please be sure to stay for the end screen because I'll link some videos you might be interested in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads, and I'll talk to you guys next time. But until then, my name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.